I've been asked several times, how many times do you feed your fish a day? And in this video, I will attempt to answer this question. So please, you keep watching because I am going to show you the number of times that you should feed your fish. And finally, I will tell you, based on my experience, the recommended number of times that you should feed your fish. So please stay watching. If you are not subscribed to the channel or you are watching me for the first time, my name is Abdulaziz Isa, and all we do in this channel is to share fish farming tips based on our experience and research. Now, how many times to feed your fish? And I will say it depends. It depends on the type of feed that you are giving your fish. But we are going to base our discussion on the commercial feed method or ways. Apart from the commercial feed, you can also have other natural feeding methods, either plant-based or insect-based. We'll talk more about it in different videos. But in this video, I'm going to talk more about using the commercial feed to feed your fish. How many times do you feed them daily? Now, the answer, like I said earlier, depends. And one of the factors is that it also depends on the size of the fish. For instance, if the fish are still fingerling or juvenile, or let me say if they are still small, just like human, when human beings are small, like children, they eat small at a time, and few minutes or hours they are hungry again. That is why children eat frequently. Maybe 2-3 hours they are eating. Yes. And adults, when you eat enough that can keep you for several hours before you can take another meal. So the same thing applies to the fish. When the fish are smaller, they take less feed at a time, but they take feed frequently. So many people will feed their fingerlings or juvenile or small fish 3 times daily: morning, afternoon, evening. And then the following day, morning, afternoon, evening. And when they grow, they will feed them twice: morning and evening. Now, with my experience, I will tell you this. When we started our fish farm, we were taught to feed the fingerlings 3 times daily, like I said earlier. And when we started, I noticed that in the morning, when I give them feed, they take some kind of big quantity, let's put it that way. And then in the afternoon, when we take another feed and give them, they eat lesser, don't take much. And then in the evening too, when you feed them, they will take lesser, they won't take much. And it means that the hours between their feeding, that is afternoon and evening, are closer to the extent that they are not able to digest the previous meal. And if they are not able to digest the previous meal, they will not be willing to take next meal. So digestion before next feeding is very important in fish farming. So when I noticed this, and we try to change the method by morning and evening, we notice that in the morning they will take enough quantity, and then in the evening they will take enough again to the following morning. So 2 times daily was okay, and that was the routine we started, and even till now, that's how we feed them. Now, when they grow to about 500 grams and above, or let me say 3-4 months thereabout, then we start giving them once a day, and preferable evening. So when we feed them in the evening, we give them large quantity, that can keep them till the following day evening. And by the time the next meal comes, they have digested the previous meal, and that means that the metabolism rate is going to be increased, and the feed conversion ratio will increase, and all this will contribute to the better growth of the fish. So take note, it depends. When they are still fingerlings, you can feed them twice a day, that is morning and evening. But when they are grown up, like 500 kilograms and above, and if you can't determine that measurement, I have a video on how to measure your fish in the pond. Or if you can't, just take note, maybe 3-4 months time, you can start feeding them once a day. You can choose morning or you can choose evening, depending on the weather condition. Now, apart from this, if you have supplementary feed, if I say supplementary feed, apart from the commercial feed, if you have another feed that you give them as supplement, you can add that one too. For instance, if you're having plant-based feed, either azolla, water lettuce, or whichever plant-based, or you have insect-based, that is either black soya, fly larva, or whichever, and you are adding that to the commercial feed, then apart from the feeding them once when they are grown up, you can, for instance, if you are feeding the commercial feed in the evening, then in the morning you can give them this supplementary feed that can keep them till you give them the main feed. So complementing that will be okay. But if you are using only the commercial feed, then it's good to just feed them, like I said, if they are still smaller, twice a day. If they are grown up, once a day. But make sure that you give them enough quantity by giving them the responsive feeding method. I have a video on how to feed your fish with responsive feeding method. Now, the reason why you should be careful about the feeding is that if you overfeed your fish, like I said, if you feed them frequently, meanwhile they don't like it that way, it means that they are not going to be digesting the feed, and always there will be leftover feed in the pond. And when that leftover feed dissolves in the water, it will increase ammonia and reduce oxygen, and that will lead to diseases and mortality, which is very bad, and as a fish farmer you will not want to experience it. So try to feed them the best way by giving them the responsive feeding method. So take note of that. And even I even didn't add that earlier, the responsive or the supplementary feed can also be given to the fingerlings, and when you are doing so, you can also reduce their amount of commercial feed that you give them as well. Please, I know if your answer this, if your question has been answered, don't forget to give thumbs up to this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, share and comment. Let's know the challenges you face in your fish farm. And if you are still going to start your fish farm, don't hesitate to contact us for tips on how to start your fish farm successful. My name is Abdulaziz Issa once again, and please watch out our next video. Thank you. Bye.